that.
I gotta tell you, Tiffany hopped in right before we let everybody in, and she just,
Rolled the eyes.
I thought it was perfect, and I hope you enjoyed my horrible joke in the waiting room. I'm not gonna go over it again. It was pure gold out there. All right, Tiffany, before
Well,
we
let's
get,
actually, I'm gonna wait till a few more people hop in before I do my thing.
so how many of you are actually on the road or going somewhere or getting ready to boogie out to see the eclipse? My friends live in Hooksett, New Hampshire, and they said since about 5 this morning, it's been gridlocked traffic, like bad traffic from everybody trying to get north for the best viewing. I think it is fascinating that this is a thing.
I'm just gonna hop in my backyard
Yeah.
and
I will be driving home from an appointment. Jen, do you have any fun plans for eclipse?
So, Evie, my daughter's school is doing a viewing party, viewing whatever, and I have to be there at 2:45 to go check out what this looks like there.
Aw.
Look at Elaine. Elaine, put those back on. She's been ready for this.
yes.
See, those are those. There's those that are well prepared, and then there's those that are putting on Facebook right now. Does anybody have an extra pair of those solar glasses? How many
It's
of you
amazing.
have seen that post come on?
I have seen them.
Right, right,
How many of
right.
you, the next time this comes around, are going to make sure you have glasses for everyone in your database? Yes,
Right.
yes. I've seen a lot of people send them out.
Those have been really cool, like logoed up
Mm-hmm.
solar eclipse glasses. You know, you think of these things just a little too late sometimes. It's all right. All right, Brooke, let's dive in. Happy
All
Monday.
right,
Did I miss a song? What song was it?
it was total eclipse of the heart.
Of course it was. What
I
else
came
would
in
it
all
be?
serious, and then I heard that I was like, seriously?
What else would it be?
I thought it was
Awesome.
so good.
How to
There she
make
goes, laughing at herself. Let's
I
take a
know.
few minutes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
have to
Let's
ask before all my main friends, how are you guys doing after that wonderful storm this weekend?
Do we have a lot of Maine people on this
I
morning?
see my friend
That
Rick.
was trash. That was trash.
I got
False
power back
positive.
this morning at 4:30. Was not impressed.
Oh my God. I
I
was
think
thinking
it
about you,
was 72
Tiffany.
hours.
Yeah. It
72
was
hours without power.
I had to say it just because I am here. I feel your pain. It was no more. That's it. The eclipse, we're starting anew.
Yep. Just
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. Now I will go ahead and share what you want me to share. Sorry.
That's okay. Let's chat about April contacts bring May contracts. I've been practicing saying that because it is a tongue twister.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go into 1,000 listings in 60 days. But this is our
Ooh.
kickoff. So here we go. So for those that have been under a rock, I'm going to take you out from under the rock and share the information with you. So here's the contest. Okay. I got feedback. I haven't changed it on here because it didn't have internet to be able to change it after I heard the feedback. I am removing command. You do not have to use command. If you have a CRM that you love, please use that CRM. That does not keep you from joining the contest. So these are the activities. Here's what you win. I have an amazing executive coach who's willing to give up 2 coaching sessions, and he's amazing and awesome and worth doing it. Your second, you win $100 in cash, which you can use Facebook ads. You can go do some pop buys, and third place is $50 in cash. And all you got to do, show up to what my trainings are, or send me pictures when you've done the activities. Again, 50 documented conversations. It does not need to be in command. Every week, which will come out today, now that I have internet back, you will get one of these. This was last week's. So I will put this in the chat. Essentially, this is all of the links. And for those that were planning on going Thursday at 6, we will do it this Thursday at 6. And then these are the squares. So if you take action and do any of these items, you get an entry into the contest. And all you got to do is snap a picture, email it to me, or send me a text. And I will put my contact information and these 2 items in the chat.
Thank you, Tiffany. I love this. I love that everything's gamified. I'm a game person, so things like this get me super motivated because I love Xing out the square when I'm done. I like print it and cross it off. Also, will you put this in our M3 group for everyone?
It is in there, but I will update it and put it in again.
Thank you, and we will make sure that it gets pinned to the top. All right, let's get into our April social media. Hold on, Zoom had an update last week, so if anybody else is struggling, the bars move all of a sudden, so you have to lock the bars. But let me get back to the screen. I love when Zoom updates. All right. Can you see? Cool. All right, don't forget, there is a new calendar started last week. I love color inspiration. I love color. I love changing up my wardrobe. Even though I get to wear cool KW t-shirts all the time, I actually have a wardrobe that's full of color. And I know when I wear a piece of color, everybody's like, oh, you own something besides a KW t-shirt or black and red? Wow. Jen, it happens to you too.
Well, mine's like, wait, you have something other than black clothes in your closet?
Yep.
What?
It's so funny how this happens. Color inspiration is a great way to get people started about thinking about maybe updating paint or refreshing a room or updating what a living room looks like. So design inspiration is actually a super important post. And we've had a lot of feedback that people's clients and communities, they talk about this post a lot. Oops, hold on. Now the participant thing is in my way. All right, so this week, it's all about spring pop of color. And I tried to find one of my favorite design seeds that had a bunch of different colors and a bright pop, including that lime at the bottom. So whether you're revamping your wardrobe or giving your home a vibrant makeover, Design Seeds has some great color inspiration. And then we're asking people, do you change up your home or clothing based on the season? When I was growing up, my mom's, the mantle was like her big thing. Once a month, that mantle was redecorated, overhauled, and she would use paint swatches back in the day before the interwebs for her inspiration. She used to go to the paint store, poke around, and then go shopping and find things to decorate our mantle. It was so much fun. Do you decorate your homes? Who decorates their home based on seasons, not just holidays? Tony does. Tommy, yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Kate does. I love it. If you've got a cool place in your home, start the post out too by posting a really cool part of your home that you've updated or made changes or favorite piece of clothing. Maybe you've got a tie that you love that is bright pink with bunnies on it or something that's so fun, or fun socks. It's National Siblings Day coming up. And whether they're the ones you were born into a family with or the people you choose, what a great way to dig for information without sounding like a creep and to celebrate it. Oftentimes, we forget that they have siblings. They have other people in their family that they're connected to. What a great way to get to know them more and get to know the people in their life they love. So I don't know about you guys, but I have about 6 tight girlfriends that are my chosen sisters. These are the people, I like my sister a lot. I love my sister, but these are my chosen sisters in life. So I will be celebrating them on the 10th. Jen, I know you have some very close friends you consider family.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep. I love this. Oh, hold on.
Bless you.
Thank you. I love allergy season. Spring is in the air. Can you smell it? I can smell it. So again, love that National Siblings Day. And then this or that Thursday, I'm queuing you up for how to contact people right now. Are you ready? This was one of our favorite posts last year around this time. When it comes to oh, why did these come back? Hold on, let me get rid of those. When it comes to communication, do you prefer the simplicity of a text or the warmth of a call? Put it in the chat. I love to talk on the phone. I mean, I do. I'll talk your ear off for hours, but I can't always talk your ear off for hours with what I do because I'm hanging out with you guys or some of our other agents, right? So now you're going to get to find out how the people in your world prefer to be communicated with. Obviously, my dog wants a phone call. You can hear her losing her mind. Now, this sneeze. So how do you want to be communicated, Jen? How do you prefer?
I always prefer a phone call, especially if it's like a touchy, like you don't know if a text will go over wrong, because sometimes just text messages and the way that they come over don't get read right, right? They don't get felt right. As when you read, you're like, "Ooh, what did that really mean?" Or so I actually like to pick up the phone, especially if it's going to be one of those text messages where you're not sure how it's going to go.
Yeah, me too. I'll ask in a text, hey, this is going to take more. There's going to be a paragraph. Do you have a quick minute? Do you have a quick minute for certain things? What about you, Tiffany? What do you prefer?
I'm a texter.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, the benefit of like not having power for the last 4 days is I didn't cancel any of my appointments and I did all phone calls. And one thing we learned is how do you listen for what you can't hear? Like
Yes.
body language and all that stuff. So it was a good opportunity to have great conversations, and I did really enjoy it.
When we're traveling, so we travel so much for the region. One of my favorite things is doing my lead gen in the car or just following up and checking in. I think Tiffany, you and I have probably logged the most amount of hours when we're both driving to different places, because sometimes it's the only time we have to catch up outside of our normal day because we're so time blocked. Yes, and I did put in there, you can add silly hashtags on this one, whether it's beep me. Who had a beeper? I had a beeper, and then
People
I saved up.
are like embarrassed to put their hand up. Like
I still have my beeper. My mom found it, and then I saved up for the luxurious
flip phone.
alphanumeric beeper, so I didn't have to learn code. Like, because there was two different ones. Remember, there was one where you were like 143. I love you. Nobody else remembers
other than 143 you could do with that, other than the phone
like-
number.
Yeah,
Now
I
be
love it.
honest, who was talking to you on that?
My high school boyfriend and my mom telling me to get my buns home. I would get like my mom's phone number, and then she'd put 911, and I was like, oh, I'm in a lot of trouble right now. So
Rick, we had one of those phones in the bag in my minivan when I was a kid or younger. My parents had that phone in the bag. We thought it was the funniest thing ever. It still is, by the way.
the Zach Morris phone from Saved by the Bell. Yep.
Very-
My first Nokia that I played Caterpillar on. We laugh about these
Let
things.
me ask you something. What could, and like by posting that post, this or that, like how does that work in real estate? Like what does that have to do with anything that we do in real estate?
Well, how fun would it be to send a text off that's funny or that has something to do with the person who is responding? So, say Sandra posted on my thing and she put only text because I am so busy. I'm going to put that in my command or whatever CRM you're using, that their preferred method of communication is text. I know if you're new here, I've talked about this before, but my husband's a first responder, and most of our sphere are first responders. They will not pick up the phone, but they will text you back. And then you can set up a time. But I'm going to make sure that when I'm doing my lead gen, I'm going to do it in a thoughtful way that is what the other person wants. And I'll cue it up and I'll say something about the post to say, thanks for, here's your text about texting. And then a silly GIF. Or if I have other notes, like Sandra loves dogs, right? I would put a silly dog GIF of a dog texting. I would make it super personal, and I would also add the activity that I did that. This is one of those ways we can be respectful of how people want to be communicated with. So that way they get into a cadence with you, and maybe they don't have your number anymore. Or maybe you're getting them on Messenger. You can say something like, I would have texted this to you, ... but I don't have you. Stuff like that. I can't stand when I set up something with someone and they disrespect either how I want to be communicated with or they overuse it either. So just don't go crazy, right? We're not doing a daily smart plan where you're texting them something. This is future communication. This is doing your lead gen.
Well, Brooke, I thought one of the
like
ways that they could use the post is even though you don't know how many people actually viewed it, or you do, but you don't know who, or whatever the case is, if you're doing your lead generation calls on Thursday, I would use that as my talking point. I would say, hey, I posted this or that on Facebook today, and I'm getting quite a few responses on how people like to be communicated with, and it made me think of you. So I just curious, how would you like for me to connect with you? Would you prefer that I text you or give you a call and give you some information about the real estate industry? Which one do you prefer? Right? It's just another way that you could use these things in your everyday conversations with the people in your data bank.
I love that. I love that because we're always looking for that ask, right? We got to build up that relationship piggy bank that Tiffany always talks about, where we don't do the real estate asking, then eventually we have the opportunity to do that. Questions about today's posts, anything we went over, or Tiffany's contest?
Scanning the crowd. Rick
Yeah,
says,
I'm looking. I'd like to see Rick on a bag phone in an old convertible with papers flying out like contracts. That's my.
I'll send it from the fax in my trunk.
Yeah, thank you. Because the carrier pigeon got lost in the snowstorm.
There she goes.
I love these posts. I love anything that we can use humor in or something light to just get into contact with people. Sometimes we don't know what to say, right? And these posts are there to engage you and get them going so you have something to talk about, so you're not like, hi, I know we've never spoken before, but who you know who's looking to buy, sell, refer, or invest real estate.
I mean, most of the people you're calling in your data bank are people that already know you. So you know that they're on social media because you most likely are connected with them in multiple ways, your phone, social media, and maybe, in person in other ways. Yet most of the time you have a lot more people on your social media than you're connecting with. So when you're making those calls, there are people that are looking at what you're posting. So mention these posts, mention exactly what we have here, because it leads you right into more of a conversation about life and about, hey, what are your plans? Did you even, maybe they bring up, most of the time they're going to bring up real estate, by the way, because they know, love, and trust you, and they know, love, and trust that you know real estate. So they're going to say, hey, Brooke, how is the market? I hear a lot of stuff from the news. How is it?
Just dumpster fire. No, I'm just kidding. That's where we get to have the local data, right? That's why we need to be local market experts, because what I'm going to say and how I'm going to ask questions depends on the person who's asking me. Are you asking as a seller or a buyer? Are you looking for what's going on here or just in the world in general? Right? Two easy ways to queue it all up.
And what I would say with that is, if somebody asked you that question right now, how is the market? What would you say? I want a couple of responses. I'd love to hear what a couple of people would say. Like, what would you say? I'm asking everybody here, how is your market? Where you are right now, how is your market? How are you replying? Kristen, thank you.
I'm always happy to talk. I basically say that if now is the right time for you to sell your home, you could not have timed it better if you tried. It's an amazing seller's market because of lack of inventory. And then I also talk about how it's a little more challenging to be a buyer because there are a lot of buyers out there. So now is the time to have, the right local buyer's agent that's going to get you into those houses and get your offer accepted. So it's an amazing time.
I love that. And one of the things that I did, especially early on in my career, because I was new to everything when you just get your license. For me anyway, I knew nothing about nothing in real estate and I had to learn it all. And one of the things that I decided to dive into the most, and Brooke knows this, is knowing the market, knowing my numbers, like knowing exactly what's happening in that. So when somebody asks me, hey, how's the market? And to Brooke's point is, oh, absolutely, I'd be happy to tell you about it. Are you looking to buy or sell, invest, rent? Right? Invest or rent. And if they tell me whichever one it is, I say, okay, well, and tell me, what area are you in? Is it your house that you're considering to have information on? Or is it something that you're looking at maybe in Florida? I would ask those questions because then I would be able to get more specific with how I replied, Kristen. I would say, you know what, here in North Kingstown, 3 houses came on the market in the last 24 hours, all over the price of 500,000. That's been the most listings we've seen in the last week. Do you hear, like, being very specific and really like understanding your local market? People, they tend to listen a little bit more when you have actual facts and knowledge of what's happening where they want to know about what's important to them, right? Ooh, Jen knows what's happening in North Kingstown. My house is in North Kingstown. She'll know how much equity I could potentially have in this. So maybe their next question is, oh, so 3 houses came on over 500. Do you think my house would be over 500?
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know what, that's such a great question. I haven't been there in quite some time. I would love to come over and sit with you for a cup of coffee or something and discuss what that could look like for you. Is that something you'd be interested in? Do you see how these are really just conversations? And Kristen started it off with that, right? It's just a conversation of what people really want to know.
Well, the other thing that I really just figured out is that people think that our market is actually down because they don't understand that once something goes contingent or under agreement, they disappear. So I know that houses are churning, 5 or 6 days, if they're priced right, prepared properly, and marketed well, they're gone. But what they're seeing is the stuff that's sitting for 30 and 60 and 90 days. So again, it's another incredible opportunity, if you know your market, to be able to speak to that. No, the ones that are selling fast are gone, and there were 56 houses that went under agreement in the last 2 months. So it's, again, know your numbers.
Know your numbers. That's right.
Know your numbers.
It's
Well,
so
how different do you sound, right? How different do you sound than everybody's like, the market's good, the market's down, the market's up. It's a list, we're list heavy, we're buyer heavy. Like, make it about them. And that's how you win.
Yeah. When somebody says something to you like, oh, is what the news saying accurate about your industry? Like, is your industry going to fold? Anybody hear that in your area? Anybody? Okay,
Just a little
Rick
bit.
and Kristen and I.
Just a
So
little bit.
have a response for that. I would say, you know what? It's unfortunate because there's so much misinformation that's being told on the media. And I would love to have the conversation with you, what it looks like, because it's really what they're explaining is a perception of what our real estate industry is about. And there's a reality of what happens in our industry. And I would love to really tell you about that because it's actually exciting for us to be more, I don't know, however you want to say it, however. But be prepared for those questions because they're going to come at you if they haven't already.
Questions, friends? Let's give something away. Let's give something away. I think you have the name that got pulled, Jen, in yours. So what we're giving away again today is the Your First Home book. I love this book. And if you have it, I'm going to ask you to gift it to either someone in your market center who could really use it or someone you're working with who is a buyer. Write something on the inside of it and give it. The other thing this is attached to is if you search in Command, connect within Command for Your First Home, there's an entire first home buyers seminar mapped out for you. Everything, marketing emails, all the social posts, what to say, who to invite, and you look like a superstar because all you're doing is facilitating this. You're bringing up the title, you're bringing up lenders, you're bringing up inspectors. It gives you everything step by step. It's one of my favorite playbooks and classes ever created for you guys. You can do it virtually, you can do it in person. It's fantastical. All right, Jen, do you have the name?
Yes, we absolutely have to make sure we mention the Value Squared class.
Yes.
I don't know if you have the link that you could drop
I
in.
do. I have it right here. Let me grab it while you're
Sure.
doing that.
2 more classes coming up for Value Squared. If you haven't sat in on any of them yet, I encourage you to, or I strongly suggest that you make some time and go to one of the 2 classes that are left on the calendar. I believe it's the 10th and the
5th.
no, not the 20, because I think it's the 24th, the day
No,
before.
April 10th and April 25th. Thursday, 25th.
April 10th and 25th.
Yeah.
If you haven't signed up for that, it's free. It's Gary Keller's course that has been created for us as real estate professionals to be able to really provide value to our customer and clients out there. So,
There's the registration
it's
link for you.
so worth the $0 that you pay.
This one's a good one. And even if you've taken it, take it again and again and again, because it's live and it's updated constantly. Take it
All right.
again.
So I do have our winner for today, and you have to be here to win. I actually see her on screen. So if you're her, we already narrowed down some of the winners on here. The winner for today, and she is getting the, what is it again? Say it again.
Your First Home book.
Your First Home book. Teresa Callwood, you are the winner for Make Money Mondays this week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really excited to have you on. And is this your first time winning?
Yes.
Ooh.
Congratulations. Well, I know you have been on quite a few times, right?
Yeah, I haven't been on for quite a few months though, probably like a year. So this is my first time back in a year. So
Wow.
I'd love to see you guys.
Well, welcome back to the call. Congratulations on your win, and we hope you come back again. We are planning on some really great content and guest speakers coming on these calls as we go into the year. So don't miss them. Invite your friends. And I gotta go watch a solar eclipse. So I'm peacing out, guys. Have a great rest of your
Stay
day.
though. Stay on.
You guys
Stay on. Stay on, because I have our regional website guru on. A regional website guru, all things KW websites. He's going to kill me for saying that.